the opening day of the first Test, Sri Lanka versus Australia. And our guest, Anthony Telfer, the man behind the spirit of cricket in Australia, is joining us before he's about to head over there for the second Test. Welcome, Anthony.
Hello, Wallace. How are you? And hello, Hookie.
Telf, you are the luckiest man on earth heading over to Gaul to be part of what is going to be an amazing Test series. I'll just give you a quick update. This just to I guess, timestamp it. Australia have won the toss and batted, no wicket for 54 after 9 overs, and our fellow South Aussie, Travis Head, 40 from 29 balls. So you're missing a little bit now, my man, but I tell you what, you're going to have a great experience in a week or so's time.
Oh, exactly. Well, I arrived there this time tomorrow night. We're on a plane out of Adelaide tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and we'll go Adelaide, Melbourne, Singapore, Colombo. And we'll probably get a bit of a shock with the humidity over there, but we're over there for 2 weeks with a touring party of 20. And we're looking to play some cricket, watch some cricket and enjoy what is the Sri Lankan culture.
It's going to be amazing. Tell the spirit of cricket. It's been something that you have really driven here in South Australia and Australia for the last 4 or 5 years. It's commendable in amongst a backdrop where there has been, how would I say, differences of opinion over what the spirit of cricket actually is. How have you navigated your way through challenges like the Johnny Bairstow run out and differences of opinion on what the spirit of cricket actually is? How have you been able to remain steadfast?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of misconceptions about what the spirit of cricket is, but, you know, it was developed by Dexter and Cowdrey back in the 70s and 80s, and they developed eight laws. But basically, it's about playing the game hard but fair. It's being respectful of the umpires, the opposition, your teammates, the captain, your coach. But finally, it's also about being gracious and saying thanks to those people who allow us to play the game. And that's what the spirit of cricket is all about. So playing hard and fair, I always apply that rule to any incident in a test match, a one-day or a T20, whatever it might be. And if it was played within the rules and hard and fair, then it's within the spirit of cricket. That's the simplest explanation of what the spirit of cricket is all about.
So if I remember around about 7 or 8 years ago that there was a real level of nastiness, in particular in and amongst Sheffield Shield cricket, and that seems to have abated a little bit. Maybe Sandpaper Gate was the catalyst behind that. But do you feel like your message is having some real cut through, perhaps not so much at the international level, but the park bench cricket that you and I have cut our teeth on?
Yeah, look, I'm probably more worried about what happens at park cricket level, Cookie. It's because we see things happen on television, in the media at that highest level, and the average park cricketer sees it and thinks, well, if they do it, then I can do it and I can get away with it. That's open game. So, you know, to see, you know, Kohli's shirt front Sam Constance in a test match and go out of his way, I can guarantee you that there's 100 cricketers out there going, well, Kohli did it and he got, you know, 20% of his match fee taken out of his back pocket, which he can do quite easily.
That wouldn't have affected him too much, I wouldn't have thought, mate.
Not at all. It's so, and that really disappoints me that, you know, these leaders and ambassadors of our great game are doing things like that and getting away with it. And then that basically gives everyone a pass to be able to go on and do that out in a local cricket club competition. And that's the level. That's where I worry about it, because at that highest level, I think there's enough cameras and microphones and obviously official match referees and umpires to adjudicate and make sure that it is played in the right spirit. But at clubland, that's where we've got the work to do.
Telf, your main focus is about the way the game is played, playing it with respect for the game and also your opposition.
Pretty much, and the umpires and everyone that's involved with the game. That's what it's about. And look, we're only on this planet for a short time, and I've played cricket probably since I was, 5 or 6 years old, and I'm still going at 60. And I just want to leave the place and the game in a better situation and try and make, you know, people realise that it is a great game and to play it the right way, to play it hard. You know, I've played a lot of cricket and I've played it really hard, and at times I've probably crossed the line. But, you know, now looking back, I want to make sure that we leave the game in a better place and teach our kids that are coming through, in a better way of how to actually play the game.
Well, we chatted 5 years ago, and in particular, you were very heavily involved in the development of veterans cricket, and that has exploded over the last 5 years. But just explain how Spirit of Cricket and what you've created and developed there sits alongside of that. I would contend that the oldies that you and I guess, are very much the demographic of these days tend to play cricket with that Spirit of Cricket foremost in mind. But I imagine you've developed other methods to, I guess, spread the word, if you like. In fact, we've even got a single that you've released that we'll definitely outro with you at the end of this chat.
Oh, wonderful stuff. The single produced and written by Paul Costa, and of course myself. Of course, I'm a musician of some talent, but Paul,
get your name in there in case there's royalties, mate.
Well, we're hoping that some media or TV station will pick it up and run with it, and then I'll be able to retire in Sri Lanka rather than having to pay and go over there. But look, that was an excellent opportunity to try and spread the word in a different way. I've also linked up with the Nelson twins, two comedians who are school teachers, and we've written a curriculum. Once again, another crazy idea of mine to try and make a difference at junior levels through schools. So schools with a cricket program and cricket clubs that want to teach their kids how to play the right game. It's a 1 hour session, and it's based around playing hard, playing fair, being respectful and being gracious. So there's lots of activities and learnings through that. And we've been rolling that out here in Adelaide. We've had Prince Alfred College, we've had Ross Trevor, and we've had St Peter's. And part of that curriculum, we bring in our T20 Legends team, all over 50s guys who go and play against their A-grade team. And we got beaten by Prince Alfred, but we beat St Peter's. And I think we even beat Ross Trevor. So that's all part of that, I guess, a different way of getting that message across of how to play the game. And we've had fantastic feedback from principals right through to the school teachers, the mums and the dads, and even the cricket coordinators about how powerful the message is, and then being able to put it into practice out on the cricket fields, just another way of promoting what we're about.
Telf, how do you see that you'll expand that and get a greater reach with your message?
Well, we're about to launch a global cricket competition, over 50s T20, in 7 different countries around the world. We ran a pilot tournament in Mildura back in September of last year, where we had 8 franchise owners. We had a player draft, all over 50s guys, who were then selected into a franchise. And then we ran the 4-day competition in Mildura. We'll roll that exact same program out into 7 countries. So we're going to Sri Lanka, America, South Africa, India, Pakistan, and England over the next 12 months. And we will take the Spirit of Cricket brand and the message to all corners of the world, and engage with all of I think there's about 900 players that will engage, and they will be all given the 1 hour curriculum as part of their course, and then hopefully take that message back to their cricket club or their local school and roll that program out there.
Telf, you're no stranger to a microphone. We appreciate your time today, but I know you have your own conversations in and amongst your Spirit of Cricket community. You had a chat recently with Greg Chappell. Wallace and I are very lucky that we play golf at the same golf club as Greg, and occasionally in the same group, and you might get 5 minutes walking down a fairway where you can chat something with him. But just your experience of chatting with GC, I know you did that with Peter Walsh, who's a legendary South Australian media performer, but just what were some of your highlights from chatting to Greg Chappell?
Sitting there listening, that was my highlight. Look, I've had probably 7 or 8 people in the media contact me and say, "How did you organise that?" Well, it took probably 4 years of communication with him to get to that point. Obviously, him and Walshy go back a long way from the broadcasting days and international cricket days, and they are friends. So I had it in there, but we connected with GC back at the Nationals, and unfortunately he wasn't well and had to miss that. But ever since then, I've stayed in contact with him and shown him our curriculum, and he's even endorsed our curriculum as basically our ambassador as we roll it out. So it's good to put his name to it. But I played cricket with Trevor Chappell up in Sydney. I recently interviewed Ian Chappell as part of the Johnny Muller Medal and the Harrow Discovery Centre over in Victoria. And I basically said to GC, I said, there's only one Chappell that I haven't interviewed. When are we doing it? And it took a little bit of time, but we finally secured him. And look, what an honour to sit there, listen to him, but get the opportunity to ask him, questions directly and answer them. I think one of the things we spoke about afterwards was, and this was with Walshy, was that his memory is just spot on. He can remember everything that happened out on the field with his players and even behind the scenes, and that's what stuck out in my memory. But he's such a gentleman. That's the other part, and I also know him. I think Flipper plays with him, doesn't he? I think they're part of a golf team. They play with each other once a week or something. They get out and have a hit. Maybe.
Wednesday mornings, Greg's become part of our group. Wayne, we haven't seen for a little while. We see Wayne's brother, Rod.
Yep.
Rod Phillips, who's very heavily involved in cricket, SACA board member, great player for Sturt, now on the Adelaide Oval Stadium Management Authority board. We see a bit less of Flipper these days, but he's certainly around the place. And Chappell and Phillips together on a microphone has been historically a bit of a special night at the golf club if we ever manage to coordinate the pair of them going together.
Yeah, definitely. But look, it was just I was sitting there, and I don't know if you've caught the interview, but at the end I just sat there and I said, look, this is a bucket list interview, to sit here with Greg Chappell, who was my idol as a kid growing up. We all had a scoop cricket bat and all wanted to, captain Australia and be in that batting lineup in the backyard. But then to sit there with Walshy, who we, listened to his dulcet tones through ABC Grandstand, was just an amazing afternoon with them.
Australia no wicket for 77. Travis Head not out 51. So our boy Trav, another one of our Royal Adelaide Golf Club members, dropped that in 51 from 36 balls and going along very nicely. So Telf, you've got the Sri Lanka tour coming up. What is next for Spirit of Cricket? What's the next box you want to tick, thing you want to achieve?
Well, look, it's rolling out this global T20 tournament where we'll have 8 franchises in each of those countries, and the winning team from each of those conferences will head to a World Championship in Dubai, and all expenses paid trip. So it's each conference, their prize is valued at about $100,000. So they'll all get to go to Dubai, play a week of cricket for nothing. That's
an incentive.
It is, yeah, and we've proved the model works. We've proved that guys are prepared to pay to be involved in something like this. And we had over 200 guys nominate for our draft last year, and that was going nowhere. But now they've heard that if they win, they're off to Dubai to play against like-minded guys from all around the world, and to bring all of those people from different parts of the world together. And a lot of these guys, won't ever get the opportunity to represent their country, but they'll get to play in a world championship and be a part of something really special. So that's where I'm headed next. And then, look, we're hoping that, some rich Arab or Indian may reach out to us and want to buy it, and then I can retire back and just travel the world running cricket competitions and having a good time.
Until that rich Indian or Arab comes along, Telf, where can people find you in the meantime? Wallace and I cut our teeth on local sports clubs, and I imagine your message transfers even across sports. I don't think it has to be limited to cricket. Where can people find information about what you're doing and maybe link up?
Yeah, look, it's quite simple. spiritofcricket.com.au is our website. If you go to the socials and search Spirit of Cricket, you'll find our black and gold logo there. That's the brand that we're portraying. And you can reach out there and we'll be in contact with you within 24 hours. But you have actually touched on something very special there with the fact that it doesn't just apply to cricket. We're going to be rolling out the spirit of football and the spirit of baseball and the spirit of basketball, the spirit of life because of all the things that we can do with the message.
Telf, been great to have you on. Great to hear about the spirit of cricket and the great work you're doing. All the best when you go over to Sri Lanka with your tour, and all the best for the long-term development of the actual message that you're trying to get across to all cricketers. Now, we're going to listen to a little bit of The Spirit of Cricket, written by Paul Costa. And Telf, were you in the backing vocals on this one?
Not in the backing vocals, but I actually got a Guernsey for the film clip. So I am there in the film clip. So thanks very much for having me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Here we go. Spirit of Cricket, Paul Costa.
From the toss of the coin till the last wicket falls, it's about sportsmanship and standing tall. The tragics around the world